First, now that I see people are coming in, I just want to say, get you a director that delivers chocolates and wine to your place, because this is the only way you should treat your actors, like this. Now I'm spoiled, so now whenever I work with another director, producer, I expect the most.
You need the chocolates, you need the wine, you need.
I expect the most. This is the way Tara likes to be treated. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. I love that.
That's all I want to do. Is I want to treat you the way you want to be treated, boo. You know, that's what I'm looking for.
Thank you.
So, okay, so people are coming in, and I just wanted to, like, get a quick, like, you know, tell us your name and tell us your role in Edible. I'm so excited.
My name is Tara George, and I play Jasmine on Edible.
And I just want to let everybody in this live know that I hit Tara up in 2017 about playing this role of Jasmine and being in my movie Edible. And that was in 2017. Like, that was a long time ago, it feels like now, you know, like so much has happened in the world. We were kind of talking about that earlier, just like what we've seen in the last year, and not let alone the last 3 to 4 years, you know?
I was just surprised that you were still so eager to make the movie during the pandemic. That was like, oh my gosh, she's actually gonna do it. She's reaching out. She must be serious. Like, I can't ignore that, because it's like, it's not just a coincidence when things happen like back to back, or like, you know, you contacted me before and now all of a sudden you're contacting me again. That's how I know you're serious, and that's what made me want to be a part of the movie even more.
Well, I'm so grateful for you. I'm trying to get my hookah. I was getting my hookah. Girl, I'm getting it all the way together over here, trying to.
Yes, Habibi, you better smoke that hookah.
I went full Habibi on them.
They ain't ready for the Habibis in their lives.
They're not ready for it. And my hookah is really kind of ridiculous. It's like a gun.
You have one of those?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I think my family has one that we never use, and it's the Eiffel Tower. You have to have one that's like just there for show, that no one smokes, you know, and that's ours is the one that looks like the Eiffel Tower. So we're just,
I don't think I would smoke out of that.
The Eiffel Tower.
Whatever. So can you tell us so you mentioned that, you know, you felt like I was being serious and that's why you wanted to join the film, but like, can you tell us anything else? Like, was there anything else that influenced your decision to join the movie?
Well, first, whenever I do indie films, it's always like a hit or miss. So I'm always worried that, okay, these people are probably going to say this and that, and then I'm never going to get footage. I'm never going to get paid, or like, and I've been in situations like that. So I'm always like, okay, people ask me to be part of their projects, and then nothing happens. And then I just kind of like let that go. So when you asked me the first time, I was like, okay, I read everything. I told you like what I was down to do and what I would help you with. And then it just disappeared, you know, like I didn't hear from you again. And I knew that this was something that you were working on, you know, but I wasn't sure when it was going to happen. And I just kind of like forgot about it. And then when you reached out again, that was like, okay, now I'm going to take you seriously, because that's twice you've mentioned it. Then I caught that you were like fundraising for the movie and everything like that. I was like, okay, she's really trying to do this. So I really want to be a part of this.
You know, and it was all the pandemic. I got to say, like, I felt like it was an opportunity. I just was like, this is so fucked up. We're in this really bad situation. How can I make it better? How can I help people? And that was really what drove Edible. And I really think that really that's what has to drive all of our work going forward. And so that was the element that was missing. I mean, I knew I always wanted to like give voice to a certain community that wasn't, you know, being seen on screen, but it was like, you have to go a level even deeper than that, right? Like you have to.
And that was another point that I wanted to make. Like, once I read what your story was, and then I realized that you had 3 Arabic speaking actors in your movie, which is like so rare so rare in Hollywood. That doesn't happen, you know? So 3 Arabic speaking actors was like a big deal to me. And telling a story where, you know, these kind of stories aren't told in our community. Like LGBTQ plus like stories are not told in the Middle Eastern community. It's still like a no-no. No one wants to talk about it. You know, it's like they know that it exists in our community, but no one wants to talk about it. Everyone's in denial. So to tell a story like this, where it showcases that community and it puts them in the limelight and says, hey, it's okay to accept everybody, because we have these kind of people in all the communities that are in the world. So don't act like we don't have this. And they deal with that community in such a horrible way. So I like that this story kind of shines a light on that, because there's scenes where you could see that there's a fear in the girls. She's afraid to tell her father, or like if her father finds out that they're in a relationship, you know, her interaction with Jasmine too. It's like seeing another Middle Eastern person automatically makes you comfortable. It feels like, okay, that's someone that's like me, so I can tell them what's happening with me and they're going to take care of me. All these things are just things that Middle Eastern people know that is kind of a part of us. So it's nice to see it being shown in a movie. You know, I love that about the movie.
Awesome. Yeah. And you know what? You made a point about the 3 Arabic speaking roles. And I think it was you that said, like, most of the time when you go and they're talking about Arabic, they're not even speaking Arabic. They're speaking Farsi or something else. Or
they'll be like, I'll be on set with a bunch of Middle Eastern girls, but it's never specified which kind of Middle Eastern they want. It's just like, okay, you guys all look the same, so let's just have all of you play Persians and all of you play Egyptian and all of you. And then most of us are not that. So when I go on set and I ask people, what are you? What are you? Like, most of the time we're all totally different from all over the place. You know? And the least that I meet is Iraqi. It's like I'm usually the only Iraqi in the whole Middle Eastern group. So I was really happy to see Mohsen on set with me, and to speak Iraqi Arabic with him was so much fun. It's just so different, because I'm the minority on every set that I go on. And for us to be the majority on that set was such a huge change, like big time.
Well, and it was so funny because I just remember you all in the backseat of the taxi singing,
just speaking Arabic,
and you know, just having a good time, like, you know, all the cultural community that was just there in that moment. You know, I think that's really important too. And it was, you know, those unexpected things. Like, I didn't think about it going into filming. I just knew that I wanted to be specific. Hey, Lex. I think I saw Lex and Damaris join. Okay, see y'all. But, you know, just that idea that we wanted to be really.
I talk about those girls. Oh my God, I'm just in awe of them. Like, they're just it was the chemistry they had.
Oh God,
is amazing. They're just like perfect for that movie. It just worked out so perfectly, and seeing them on that screen was just like, wow, they're really telling the hell out of this story. I felt everything they were feeling. I got emotional. I was laughing. It was just a lot of different things, and they killed it. Those 2 girls, I look up to them. They're amazing.
Awesome. Well, okay, so part of the reason we're doing this live, and I'm actually really glad that we're doing this live, and I'm like, okay, it worked out this way that we didn't get your interview so we could go live together, right? And I'll put it up.
Put Lex on blast? Blame him for all of this?
Well, no, I'm not going to blame anyone. I'm going to say it was destiny. I'm going to say it was destined. Do you hear you in the background? Don't.
Oh, you have it on?
Change. Stays the same. Stays the same. So yeah, first of all, just shout out to you, Tara, because first of all, you're super talented. Like, you're an amazing singer. You've got all these songs out. You've been living in LA and all that stuff. But one of the reasons we wanted to do this is because we didn't get your BTS interview. And one of the questions that we ask everyone is to Lex
I'm
put in.
Scared.
Well, the question that we ask is, tell us about your first time doing an edible.
Oh my gosh. The funny thing is, I've never publicly talked about any of this.
Well,
that's putting me on blast right now. And
the
funny thing is, It's just the lucky few that are on the live right now that are gonna get to hear this story. So
the tea.
my first experience, well, I was in LA about, I want to say like a year or two, I think, you know? And a friend of mine brought, oh, actually, no, I had tried edibles and everything was cool, but I only tried a little bit. And the second time, which I consider my first, because that's when I was like, I'm going to try edibles. You know? Try is different from I'll try, you know? So little did I know. And first of all, I got it from this girl that I knew. And she's like, just be careful because this brownie goes a long way. So a little bit goes a long way. And I was like, okay, I got you. So I split it with my friend that day. I ate half. And she ate half. Girl, I just remember I became so spiritual in that moment. I was praying to every God I could think of. I was like, please get me out of this. It was a horrible feeling. I felt like I had no control over my body. I was throwing up everywhere. Okay. And I was like, I promise I'll never do this again. Please, Lord, get me out of this. I'm freaking out. I was literally in bed. I want to say like for like 3 days, I couldn't get over it. Cause it was like literally my first time. Like that's what it felt like. Cause I told you the first time I barely tried it. This was like extreme for me. And I didn't know it was going to make me feel that sick. Cause I feel like when you're eating something, it's more in your system. So it's messing up a lot of things in there. I just couldn't hold it back anymore. I was just like, I felt like my insides were coming out.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
it's disgusting. But that's how bad it was. I'm not joking. And then I was like, I'll never do this again. And I never went that hard again. That's when I was like, okay, I know my limit. I know what helps me get relaxed and whatever. But doing half is just like, you need to chill out.
Well, it's funny because like right before I decided to launch the campaign, basically I took an edible and it was like, you need to launch the campaign, you need to do all this, you need to do this. And I was like,
if you're gonna campaign for Edible the film, you should definitely do an edible as your campaign.
Well, I didn't. It wasn't like I was doing the edible for edible. It was just like I was like, man, I really wanted to do edible, and the quarantine had hit, and I was like at a online party, and I took an edible because I was partying, but then I couldn't sleep, and I was just up.
Really? That's supposed to like knock you out though, right?
I was up, honey. I don't know what edibles I be taking, but they be having me up. I'll be like can't sleep, can't stop moving. And I just tossed and turned. I was like, okay, what is it that's on my brain that I need to like figure out? And it was like, you need to still do edible. You need to launch this.
Then I'm glad you did that. That helped you launch it. That's great. I saw someone post earlier that gummies, 150 milligrams. I think I want to go back to see. See, this is the thing. I agree with you that gummies will probably make you feel just really cool, chill. Gummies are not as strong as
the baked good.
The brownie. What is it with the brownie that makes it so strong? Is it the butter and stuff? Because it's like it's intense.
It's intense. I mean,
I'm scared now remembering that.
Thinking about it, right? Yeah, totally. Like, and it's funny because I feel like it always comes with a warning. Like everyone is always like, be careful.
Literally said, don't eat that much of it. She looked in my eyes and told me not to. And I
same. Same thing happened to me with the girl who gave it to me. Was like, be careful with that cookie. And I was like, okay, you know, like.
No joke. That's why this story is so relatable to so many people because everyone's gonna remember the first time they did an edible and how they felt and like a lot of things that she was doing. And it's like when you're new to it, you react to it differently from someone that's been smoking or eating edibles for a very long time, obviously. So her reaction in this movie seems like it's so extreme and dramatic, but in reality, some people do react like that. It gets that extreme. I feel like now looking back, I'm like, I was so dramatic, like praying and you know, like what did I think was gonna happen?
Well, and I
really thought I was dying. I literally thought I was dying.
Exactly.
Like she thinks she's dying.
I think everyone thinks that, right? There's all these memes that are going around about like you take an edible and then like an hour later you're like, man, nothing's going on. This is not even working. and what's up,
And then
people?
boom,
And then hits you, and then you
it's
like,
like her heart slapped in the face, like wake up.
right now, like take me now, because I'm gonna die right here, right now. You really think you're gonna die? And you know, I'm not saying that's good. Like, you know, the thing about, I feel like with edible, it's like it's not presenting it as a good or bad situation. It's kind of just like a neutral thing that happens, and it's all about like the reactions to
And
that.
it's more like highlighting how culturally people will react differently depending on what their situation is at home. She's freaking out in this story because the situation at home is she has a lot of secrets that she doesn't want people to know. So that's where it triggers, like, because the girlfriend's like, why are you freaking out? You know, like, this shouldn't be a big deal. But to her, it's like, I've never done this. If my family finds out, they're going to kill me. I'm going to die, this and that. Like, it's such an extreme thing because Middle Eastern girls are not supposed to be doing things like that. So any little thing that you do that's out of the norm is like you're risking your life for it. And that's why this movie is so fun to watch, because it's a lot of us relate to that, and no one wants to tell that story because they're afraid to tell it. And here you are.
Hey, I know, right? Here I am. Hey, remember when this happened?
Like, I'm about to just break all these norms and tell this story the way I want to tell it, which is amazing.
Well, and not only that, I think it's really important because it's not like sometimes I get really frustrated watching movies because you can tell that people haven't lived these situations, and so their responses aren't realistic, and you know, the story just doesn't seem to click in a way because it's like you didn't live that experience, and so you're just kind of speculating about what that would have been like. Right. And so for me, it's been like, I know what that I lived this night. Okay, I have something. Someone's requesting. I don't know what that is. Is it like a question? I don't. Someone wants to go live.
I think there's an option where you can ask questions. So maybe people are asking questions.
Questions, send a question, but I cannot let anybody else. I'm only allowed to go live with one person. I don't know.
Right. No, if they're asking to go live, tell them, I'm sorry, I'm with Tara right now.
I'm live with someone right now. The other, you know, talking about the secrets though, because, you know, like, I think for me, like the shame and stuff, I mean, it's in all of our cultures. And we talk a lot about secrets. I've got a lot of secrets that I can't talk about right now. But just this idea that like your shame holds power over you. And so the only way to eliminate that is just to put it all out there, you know, like, and just say like, this is what it is. And like, I'm going to unburden myself because I don't want to feel this shame. You know, like society says we should feel shame, but why should I personally feel shame for something that's a natural thing? So somebody says, girl in yellow, this is orange, by the way. This shirt, this shirt is natural. It's got like Quran verses on.
If he wants to call it yellow, he can call it yellow. Okay?
I mean, also, I know colorblind. As long
as he's showing love, he can call it yellow, green, orange, whatever he wants.
Yeah, no, totally. We appreciate the love. And they say, Tara, best of luck to you all. Peace.
Thank you.
But I do want to highlight the shirt, so thank you for...
Yeah. No, tell us more about the shirt. I want to know, because I see some Arabic writing on there.
Yeah, these are like Quran verses that this guy, Muhammad, he like was raising money. You know, with this pandemic, it's just been like, people are really suffering, right? Like,
and people are getting super creative and like just going for it because they're like, what do we got to lose? I'm either gonna make money from this, I'm gonna survive this pandemic, or I'm just not, and we're gonna move on to the next project, you know?
Next pandemic.
It's crazy, man. It's a crazy time right now. I'm so grateful for everything that comes my way. Like any little gig that I book, I'm just so thankful and grateful for it, because I know a lot of people are not working right now and wondering when their unemployment check is going to come in or something like that. Like, I'm just grateful because everything's been on time for me. Everything's like, it's great that I can still book work during this time, you know?
No, totally. And, you know, the big thing about Edible, like I mentioned earlier, was like, you know, giving back. That's been a big part of my campaign. It's been about like, how can we support each other during this time? You know, when there was the explosion in Lebanon, we donated, you know, half of our month's donations to the survivors.
And I want to point that out because I feel like you deserve your roses now, because a lot of people wouldn't even think about doing something like that when they're fundraising for their film to give back to a community that they aren't even a part of. When the Armenian protest started for ArtSac, you were involved in it. When the Lebanon tragedy happened, you were involved in it. Whenever I post anything about the Assyrian community, the Chaldean community, anything that's happening, you're the first one to DM me and ask me, is there anything you can do to help? And that means, I can't tell you how much that means to people that are the minority, no matter where they go. Like, no one even knows that Assyrians exist. To them, we are these biblical creatures that don't exist anymore.
Well, maybe you are the creature. Okay, honey.
So for you to like care and to be educated on what we are and who we are and to want to be involved just means a lot. So thank you for that. For real.
Thank you, Boo. And I just want to shout out, Earth just came in. Earth is my editor.
Hey.
And I just
smoking some weed now. Good. We're talking about our movie Edible, so it's only right to either be taking an edible or smoking some weed right now.
Get an edible. I've got this hookah. My friend earlier.
Some wine. You gotta be drunk or high for this one.
My friend bought me some edible infused food earlier, and I had some, so I'm like, ooh.
Oh, so are you lit?
I don't have any drink, but I mean, I don't know how lit I am. But the thing about hookah will make me sleepy, so I have to be careful.
I can't do hookah anymore. The only time I smoke hookah is when I go home and my brother or my dad wants to smoke it with me. But it gives me such a headache. It really does. It's like not worth it. I start choking and I have a headache. This is not okay anymore.
Well, Toby
for this shit now.
Toby just joined. Toby was the one who brought me the edible infused food.
Nice. Well, Toby, so where did he bring this edible infused?
Like she made it. She designed the logo too. Want to say shout out for her designing the logo.
Wait, she made the food and delivered it to you?
Yes.
So I'm guessing she has a company. Are we shouting the company out right now?
No, it's just her. I mean, she has a company, like a design company, because she does that. But she just makes it, you know, at home, and she lives around the corner. So she was like, let me come by, because she knows, you know, about Diddy, my cat, and everything. And so she wanted to, like, I know, whatever. We're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not going to get sad.
But
we're talking edible.
Well, yeah, and like, I was going to say David. I saw David join the chat earlier. David cut the trailer for Edible, which is dropping this Sunday. And so I cannot.
That's like, we haven't dropped the trailer yet, have we?
No, it's coming on Sunday.
Okay, I'm excited for that. I'm excited
for that. For you to see it. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves it. He killed it. He works for Buddha Jones, and they're like a trailer house pretty much. And he just he's so good at it. So shout out to David.
Shout out to David. We're excited.
Because I mean, I just want to say you're in the trailer, Sarah.
Am I in the trailer? I made the trailer. I made the trailer, y'all.
And as
what part? How long am I in the trailer? No,
right.
David, I'm watching you, David. You better add some extra scenes in there, you know.
Watch out now, but Earth said
I'm watching you.
The trailer is fire, though. It's literally lit. It's so good, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. And in terms of like the secrets and the shame, I just wanted to get back to that because that was part of this too. So one of the questions that we asked was, do you have any secrets that you want to reveal right now?
First of all, you can't ask me for something like that.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
Fine. You know, I want to respect you.
There are some secrets that are meant to be unshared. Is that even unshared? Like there's some things that are probably gonna come with me to the grave. Like, if that makes sense. But then there's some things where I'm like, it's a secret, but it's not really a secret. I kind of shared one with you earlier when you asked me the first question. And the question was, what was your first experience with an edible?
It was like the track.
No one knows I've ever even tried that, you know? So for me to even say that out loud is a little scary.
I love you. Thank you so much.
I already shared my secret. So
all right. I support this. You know,
and I'm pro Mary all the way. I'm pro Mary Jane. I support anyone that smokes weed and does. I'm a firm believer that it's a medicine and it helps a lot of people. And I don't believe in any of that bullshit that they brainwashed us with, especially in our community. It's tragic, but I feel like now people are coming around because in our community, a lot of people are owning dispensaries now. They're growing it in their homes. It's like a natural thing that every Assyrian and Chaldean is doing now. So it's not normal to hear about it. So I just want to be like, hey, use it for medicinal reasons. If you have any kind of illness, like teach your family members that it's okay. It's actually the most natural thing that you can take for whatever illness that you have that it can help you with, instead of taking whatever prescription that they're giving you. It's actually better than that in many ways, especially when you're in pain. So I go out of my way to try to educate people in my family about it, because I don't want people to be judgy about it, because there's so much they don't know. So I hope that things like this can just make it things like this movie Edible will make it easier for people to talk about these things. I hope, like, fingers crossed, you know, you can only hope that your art will be able to open conversations for people. But either way, I've been for it for the past like 11 years. I support it. I support anyone that does it. I'm never going to be against it ever again. And if you ever want to, if you're Chaldean or Syrian and want to talk to me about edibles or marijuana, please feel free to DM me, because I have no problem discussing it with you.
Do you know some brands, like shout out some Assyrian, Chaldean?
I don't, not in
okay.
Not in LA. They're actually all in Detroit. They're in Michigan. I don't know of their dispensaries. I just know one of my friends owns a company that provides all the material you need to grow. So that's pretty cool. And he's a good friend of mine. I support him 100%.
That's what's up. I love this story. What else can I ask? Well, I just wanted to, you know, because I think we had this like online relationship for like 3 years, right?
Yeah,
like
I didn't meet you for 3 years. I remember talking to you. I don't even know how you found my page. I don't remember how you told me. I think it was backstage.
Definitely backstage. And it was filming. I found where I had printed your headshot and had wrote your name on there, you know, and I was like, this is going to be Jasmine. But, you know, you talked about how that it's been that long, but the reason I was doing that is because I knew how hard it would be, right?
To find the Middle Eastern talent, too.
To find the people to do it, you know, because it is so controversial. And I know that. I'm aware of that. And, you know, whatever I can do to support those conversations happening and, you know, hopefully moving the needle forward, getting some progress and helping people just feel accepted and release that shame, you know, like I think we are that generation, you know, Pluto and Scorpio. I know I'm all like into the astrology and stuff, but
but it's so true. And it's like, as a Middle Eastern actress, there's always a fear of what our community will say about us, or, you know, like, it's just so much harder for females to actually pursue this dream and tell these kind of stories, because you're always looked at, like, people don't understand to separate the actor from the actual person. And they'll just assume that you are part of something, or you are something just because you play that part. So I understand how difficult it probably was to find Middle Eastern actors to be comfortable enough to play these roles. And I remember saying that you're gonna find a Middle Eastern actress that's gonna be comfortable playing that role, and you did. And I was so proud of who you picked out, because she's absolutely perfect. I'm not gonna mention who she is, because I know that there's a lot of weird stuff going on in her community, and the battles that she's had to go through and everything. But I just, when it comes out and when the movie comes out and they see who it is, I just want to say what a brilliant, brilliant woman she is, and how she's
100%.
Yeah, she's just different. And she's going to help so many Middle Eastern women. And I love that about her. I love her strength and her courage.
Yeah, you know, it's courage. That is, you know, Maya Angelou, you know, it is Black Future Month. So this is part of it. So I wanted to share this quote. That's one of my favorite quotes from Maya Angelou about courage. Right? And there's two parts, but I only know the first part because I just learned about the second part recently. But basically, she just says that courage is the most important virtue, because without courage, you cannot practice any other virtue consistently.
It is. You can't do any. Like, you have to be brave enough to tell these stories and be yourself, or else.
Pause. Because I saw the shirts creator just join the chat. I just want to.
Hey!
Thank you so much for the
Middle Eastern love.
Yes.
Oh, Bear Bombshell is on here too. I gotta shout out that girl.
Hello.
Just started her boutique shop. She's killing it. That's talk about courage and just going for it. That's Bear Bombshell.
I was gonna say, because I see you rocking the Bear Bombshell.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, I'm always in your DMs. I'm the person, like, when you're my
that
friend,
dress. A lot of people were in my DMs after that dress. Trust me.
But you know, I'm always like, girl, where you get that dress? What's up? Looking good. You know, like
support the small businesses. They matter, man.
And then you told me the story, and I was like, oh, it's a done deal. So definitely we shouting out Bear Bombshell Boutique. We shouting out everyone with courage and who's out here being courageous. It's really important. So good. Oh, hi, boo.
Hi. Yeah, so I'm really excited for people to see this story. I hope you take it to a bunch of film festivals because it deserves to be seen. I've been telling you this from the moment I read the script, that this is award winning to me, because it's telling a story that people are afraid to tell, especially for Middle Eastern people, you know? It's just, I don't know. I want you to be courageous with this, and I want you to send it to as many film festivals as you can, because I feel like the story needs to be told. It's fun, it's different, it's sad, it's scary, it's so many different things that people need to see it. And it's a short film, so it's quick with the message that it's trying to send, you know? So that's, you gotta see it. You just gotta see it. Yes. I'm not saying that because I'm in it. I'm just, even if I wasn't in it, I would definitely support this film because it's so different.
Since you're in it, which is what this is about, let's not forget that Tara George is in Edible.
I am in the movie, and I play Jasmine. And Jasmine is just, I feel like Jasmine is that random girl that just kind of like ends up being the babysitter or the motherly person in every situation, that she never asks for it. But for some reason, everyone comes to her for help because she seems like such a caring person that she'll go out of her way and out of her comfort zone just to make sure that this Middle Eastern girl, because she's Middle Eastern like me, has to be okay during this whole situation. That as small as the part was, or her scene is, she's so important because it shows the dynamic between Middle Eastern people. That one girl can be from Saudi and the other girl can be from Iraq, but as soon as they meet, they have something in common, you know? And it's like that comfort, like, I don't care where you're from, you're like me, so you're gonna help me. Just because you speak Arabic like me and you look like me, then that means you're family. It's such a cool thing to see, because a lot of people don't understand that the Middle East is split up, and there's Christians, there's Muslims, there's Jews, there's all kinds of people in the Middle East. And for the longest time, we did get along, especially in Iraq. I try to mention that all the time, that, you know, Christians and Muslims were friends in Iraq. This stuff started happening like during ISIS and all of that. There's always that love of knowing that you're the same blood as me, no matter what your religion is, you know, that we lived in the same country, we come from the same kind of environment. And that's why, even though it's like, how do you even see that in a movie like Edible? They're talking about you know, eating an edible, and it's funny, and it's like, you know, like just she's hallucinating stuff, but still you got to dig deeper into what we're trying to tell you through this story. It's not just these girls are doing an edible and they're acting like fools. No, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm trying to like,
no, actually,
I'm trying to get people excited about this because it's also, not just that, you know.
So just that though.
It's a lesbian story, and one of the girls happens to be Middle Eastern. That's one. There's 3 Middle Eastern actors that speak Arabic in this movie. That's huge, you know. And all of this is shown and told in like a very short form, which makes it so much more enjoyable, you know. And I just want people to be as excited as I am about it. So.
I'm so excited. Like, I'm telling you, when you came to the vortex, okay, I know. I feel like the people watching are like, what's this person talking about? Anyway, you came to the party. It was my birthday. It was really what it was. It was my birthday, and it was Halloween as well. And, you know, I had been working with Urs, trying to get a cut together, and I was like, let's do a party. Let's, you know, make it a whole celebration of all of these things. And it became Vortex.
that was so much fun. I needed to see what it was going to look like. So just seeing like whatever you guys had put together for the party, it was just beautiful because it made me really emotional. I laughed at some scenes. I cried in some scenes. Like, I felt everything they were feeling. I felt the fear that she had. You know, my dad's about to come, like, you know, like, it's just all of that. I feel like every Middle Eastern girl can relate to it. And, you know, it's going to tell a story that needs to be told.
Oh, thank you so much, Boo. Yeah. It's just like, I don't even know. My brain is not working all the way. Sorry. No, I mean, I'm so excited that you are so excited about it. That's what I was going to say, because I remember at that event where we had so much fun, right? It was so much fun. You were singing. Oh my God, the karaoke was amazing. But, you know, I feel like I lost the video. Someone has the video. So this is like a SOS. If you have this video of Mussin and Tara singing Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone, I need the video.
I stole that moment from Mussin. I know I did. I stole that moment from him. I didn't mean to. I just felt like he needed help, you know?
Well, because he had picked one song and we were all like, Mussin, like, did you really pick this song? I don't know. This is not the vibe we're on. You know, it was kind of sad. And then he was like, okay, I'm going to pick a different song.
I love him. He's so sweet.
No, speaking about, you know, going back to how you're saying there's 2 Iraqi people in this film, right? Like, thinking about when we were casting and thinking about, like, again, the casting, and I knew was going to be the most difficult part, you know, like, and casting the taxi driver I thought would be difficult as well. You know,
because you felt like, what Middle Eastern man's going to be okay with this scenario as a movie, you know, like, it's hard. And he's not your typical, you know, like, he's not your typical Iraqi man. Like, he was just open, but he didn't care. I don't think you should care as an actor. If you're an actor, you have to be okay with everything. Like, if you're not okay with certain things, don't be an actor. If you're not comfortable being on set with transgender or gay or lesbian or any kind of actor, then you should not be an actor. Like, there should be no discrimination, because you as an actor can play any role. That's what makes you so special. So if you have any kind of discrimination towards anyone, please do not be an actor, because you're going to come across all kinds of different people in this entertainment business. So to see a man that is Iraqi and like super Iraqi, like Muslim, and you know, just like someone that you would think that would not be okay with this topic, to see him on set and playing along and laughing and like just being a good actor is just a breath of fresh air. I was really happy to
that. Like, he's been so helpful behind the scenes. He's my translator.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing, and it's good to have people like that on your side.
Yes, it's so. Yeah, no, and you said this. Going back to what I was trying to say, I know I keep getting sidetracked, but you know, at the event, after, you know, we karaoke and must end up. I mean, so yeah, if y'all have that video, I need it because Tara sings the hell out of this song. And it was like blowing everybody away that night. We were all like, oh my God. But I feel like I had the video. I don't know what happened, but somebody, SOS, I need the video. I want to post it. Thank you. It's really important to me. Like, I was like texting Maya. I was like, Maya, check the hard drives. I don't know what's going on.
So funny. Such a fun night.
At that event, you said to me, like, right after the movie finished, you were like, okay, like, I want to see it in festivals. Where is it going? And I felt like I was really so touched by that, because you were like, what she said was, what do I need to do to help you get it there? And I was like, wow, that's a real one, you know, like, that's so sweet. Like, thank you so much. Like, and I just think about, again, it's like from 2017 through all of this, just kind of being on the internet in this kind of nebulous world, to just find someone that would be down just to help. And you're right, like, it was just like a hard journey of like, who's going to be the people, who's going to be the ones. But another thing you also said to me, I feel like we don't talk that much. I feel like we're not that close, but I feel like another thing you said to me, another thing you said to me was, your people will find, like, you will find your people, like, your people will find you. The people that are meant to be the ones for you, they will find you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like, you just said it. You were just like, it's gonna happen. Like, don't worry.
And there was a time where I feel like things were kind of looking like they were falling apart, or like people were backing out or whatever. And I told you, I was like, we've come this far. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm a firm believer in that. And there was a reason why those things happened, because it was meant for that actress to play this role. She relates to that part more than other people do. It's because of what she's dealt with in her community. So it was meant for that actress. And that's why it turned out so good. The chemistry was so great between them, because she related to that character, you know, and it turned out perfect. And I was right. Everyone that was meant to be in that movie ended up in that movie, and it worked out perfectly because of that.
Yeah, no, it's all been perfect, you know, like, it's not that it's not been hard, but
this is not an easy thing to do. This is absolutely hard. It's very, very hard to write, produce, direct, cast, fundraise, all for an indie film that you're not even going to make any money from, pretty much, unless it gets picked up, you know, and maybe turned into a feature, which I'm hoping for. But
okay, still, it's a hard time out there, because this is a conversation that I keep having with people. Okay, you want to see a feature of Edible? You want to see a feature of Edible?
I absolutely want it to be a feature, because I feel like you could go deep into that story and really tell that story. You know what I'm saying? So I do see it being a feature. Absolutely. I do.
Okay. So here's
you want to know, because at the end of the movie, you're like, well, what happened? Did you know, did you go? What? It just ends. It's like, so what happened? Did they get caught? Did they, you know? I want to know the full story. It leaves you hanging. And that's whenever a short film leaves you hanging, I always feel like there's a feature coming, you know?
Oh, dang. So you feel like I set my own self up for the feature.
I really believe that.
Oh my God, you know, David, the trailer editor talked about some same here. I want to see more, and I want to meet the cousin. Oh,
yes, no. Exactly. I want to see what that relationship with that cousin is, because that's too deep in the story for you to just not bring her into light and see what the fuck is going on. Like, I want to know, because that's not no cousin. Okay? And if it is, that's going to shine the light on a whole nother version of the Middle Eastern community that we haven't talked about. Once the cousins get involved.
Look, I've got my protective shirt on. I'm in a...
No, you're certified Habibi. That's what you are.
I'm a certified.
Make it a full series. Absolutely. I could see it being a series instead of a movie. Absolutely.
I was gonna say, actually, so this is my logic, and I do believe this. Like, I don't feel Edible, the I don't feel edible the feature. I think
Really?
I think that it's all about short content, short series, episodic stuff right now. Like we were talking earlier, it's all about the mind,
The
then
series. Yeah. So
series.
maybe David's right. Maybe a series.
I mean,
Like a limited series.
yeah, or whatever, you know, but I think it's the
Hey,
idea.
we can dream big. We're on live. We're speaking it into existence. Why not?
Yeah, I know, you're so positive. I love that. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is that it's like, the reason that series are popular too is also more financial, right? So you can get more out of advertising revenue and all this stuff. And think about it. People aren't going to the movie theater. I'm not going to the movie theater anytime soon. You know, like,
my projector. I'm staying at home. Like, I'm about that projector life. I have my own theater at home. I don't need to go to
so
Sorry, AMC. I know your stock is going up right now, but
oh my God. We've got
it's a whole lie. Okay.
LOL. So funny. I mean, so I feel like, are people going to really invest in features now as the landscape is changing? You know, like eventually, see, yeah, all the online streaming services are looking for content. See,
Paramount Plus is looking for it. Absolutely. That's why. But that's the thing. Yes, features will be it because these
yeah, that's the point.
are eating it up. They want to see what's the next hot thing. And I know Amazon Prime is like a big outlet for indie because I've seen a lot of indie films and indie TV shows on there. One of my friends have an indie show on there.
Wow.
The name of it. It's like they have like a dispensary and it's like just set in the dispensary and it's on Amazon Prime and it's indie. So there's a platform. There's a platform. You just have to be confident enough that your story is worth being on these platforms. And I believe it is.
Well, that's exactly it. So it's like, does it need to be a feature? Could it be a series? Could it be something that's like shorter versions? You know,
Yeah.
It's all about the economy, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like shorter, like a mini series or whatever would be dope for edible because you could go into detail into each character. You could really dig deep into
that would be cute.
community. Like,
okay, edible.
You could be winning awards like Rami, girl. Look, you just gotta do something that's different. Rami's winning all these awards because he chose to speak about the Middle Eastern community. That, you know, so it worked.
Well, I'm thinking about what you said about characters and how one of the things you said after you saw it was that with the concierge.
Oh.
And like, you know, for me, it was just like a person, you know, like, because the thing is,
each one of these characters has a backstory. And you always wonder, whenever I watch a movie or a show and there's this like one character like maybe had one line, but it stood out so much and you're like, I wonder what their story would be on this show. Like this character's one line was so interesting to me that I want to see what else they have to say. So with the concierge, it is that because he's such a personality. I love him. He's such a personality. He just like, it's like he must know all the stories in that building because it seems like everything kind of happens in the lobby, you know? So he must know dirt on everybody. So it's almost like I want to see like the Office version of like what he would want to say about all the people that come to his desk, you know? Like,
yeah, totally. And
oh my gosh, all the way in Pakistan. That's amazing.
I know. It's like, hey, I know. So many people on great. Yeah, and even Mustin's character, like I'm sure he was just like, I didn't sign up for this. Like, what's going on?
Cab driver. You know what movie I love that kind of told the story and then it focused on each character? I forgot the name. Was it Crash? No.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that sounds right.
Was that the name of it?
Sure. Yes.
So, where it's like different things were happening, but then they would focus on each character that the things were happening to, and it showed how they were all connected. You know, so that's how I see. Because I feel like in Edible, they're kind of all connected. Because the fact that she even remembers Jasmine, the fact that she feels comfortable enough telling her, the other girl knew Jasmine, the concierge, you know, that they all kind of know each other. They all live in this building. Like it's just so much. There's such a connection with this group that you kind of want to know what the backstory is?
Well, so I can share a little bit about the backstory because it's like, I think it's important to know, but like you kind of, let people know too. But like in real life, like I was picking up some keys and I met Jasmine, and Jasmine was like I had said a name. I was like, I'm picking up these keys for her. And Jasmine looks at me and she's like, you don't look like, it's like a Middle Eastern name. She's like, you don't look like a Middle Eastern person. And I was like, I'm not. I'm, picking up for a friend. And she's like, okay. Like, and the concierge is like, well, you did say the right name. It's true. And it's like, yeah, here are the keys.
Yeah.
And so I had this interaction with them. So that that's kind of like the backstory of why.
And people don't know. And it's like Edible is based on something that actually happened to you. So this is a true story. Maybe like we added a few things, but it's something that you experienced with someone, and to tell it and to have each one of these characters is an actual person in real life. Like, it's based on somebody. So to hear your side of the story and what you experienced is fun. It was fun because it added a lot to the characters.
Yeah, it was quite the experience is all I can say. That's really all I can say. I mean, we just have a few minutes left. I don't know if there's people here. If they have questions, I'm happy to help answer some questions or questions for Tara.
Or we can
do you have any
see if there were any questions before? Or?
I didn't see any.
I didn't see any questions. I just saw people commenting on edibles and stuff.
Everyone's high.
Everyone's high right now. No one has questions.
Do you have any questions for me, Boo? Me.
Let me see.
Not to put you on the spot. You don't.
No, I'm trying to think because I probably do. How do we watch the video? That's okay. A good question for you.
That's a good question.
How will people be able to watch this short?
Okay, so there's a couple of answers to that. So we have a YouTube right now that has, some BTS interviews. This is going to go up on there. And the trailer is dropping on Sunday. David is in the chat. He's working on the trailer right now.
David? David, if you're still in here, I'm watching you. You should be working.
Yep. Yeah, so that's how you can watch those things, and we'll be releasing little clips and stuff.
And hopefully, once it hits the film festivals, maybe we can get it streaming somewhere. Like maybe we'll have people interested so that we can get it streaming beyond YouTube.
See, I want to see where it can premiere. We'll see. It's so hard, right? Because it's also the pandemic, and so much is unknown.
Right.
That's the thing. It's so much is unknown right now, and I'm just kind of with it. And
that's right. With COVID, it's are we even having film festivals? Do we even submit to anything right now? Are they even allowing that? It's
I mean, there are film festivals out there.
Yeah.
But it's, I'm trying to submit it to as many as I can. We definitely appreciate your donations because the festival fees are expensive.
Yes, facts. So each festival submission costs money. So that all comes out of the indie producer or director's pocket. So definitely chip in if you.
Gee. LOL Chance has just joined.
Oh, my baby. He's the sweetest.
I love, even during the table read, because, we did a table read. And that was so fun.
That table read was awesome. I love that. That was really fun. We did it on Zoom. People were there watching. It was a lot of fun.
Cool. I'm excited for.
Chances says we should be at all of them. I agree. We should be at all the film festivals.
Right. Well, y'all had such a chemistry from immediately.
We need a spin-off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. That's exactly right. We need the concierge and Jasmine. Because what are they up to? It's the middle of the night. Why is Jasmine there?
Why is he telling me these crazy ass stories? Yeah, why am I there? Like, because he's probably our drug dealer.
He's not.
He's probably giving us the animals. Who knows? He seemed really busy on that phone that night.
I know, that's what you said, and I was cracking up. I was like, I don't know. You know, you just never know. Oh, Chances says Tara is one of the most beautiful people I've met.
Oh, I heart you.
I heart all of y'all. I heart Edible, because thank God for Edible. Honestly, if Edible didn't, Toby, who was here earlier and who did the logo and brought the infused goodies, was like, thank God you did Edible when you did. Like, thank God you did it. And
it was during a time where all of us were unsure if we were gonna be working on anything. Like, just to be booked on a film was such a big deal during COVID, you know? And it was like the second thing I booked last year. That was like the only thing. Like, that I only had 2 gigs last year, and that was one of them. And to see how well executed it was. Like, you had COVID police on there. You had masks and hand sanitizers, and everyone was social distancing, and everyone was doing the right thing, all on this indie short film. Like, you set the vibe for like how it should be during COVID, and it was so impressive to see that, because honestly, a lot of people don't give indie anything enough credit, and you really should, because indie is where it's at. I think indie films are so much better than the mainstream ones. They're more of storytellers, and they're not afraid to tell different kinds of stories, because they're like, we're indie, we can do whatever the fuck we want. So I encourage you guys to absolutely support indie film as much as you guys can.
so true, so true. And yeah, I just want to also shout out the locations that we had. I mean, we had a pretty nice apartment to kind of hang out in, so that was really great. I got really lucky. I mean, that day in particular that you were filming was like the most expensive day, because it was the most people, and it was like we had to move things, and it was a lot going on. So I'm sorry that we didn't get to interview you. You know,
no, it's totally okay. I remember one thing when we were filming the last scene. I don't know if you remember the neighbors that were outside watching us, and that was when like I was like, this feels like such a Hollywood moment. You're filming your movie in this neighborhood, and people are like, what's going on? Who are they? What are they doing? What's going on? Like, it's so fun to see, and it never gets old. Like, you'd think by now people that live in Hollywood are used to that, but honestly, every time I've done anything outdoors during a film or whatever, people stop and look and take pictures and like are so like in awe that something's being created right in front of them.
Amazing. Well, we've got just a few seconds left. I want to thank you so much. Thank people for joining us.
Thank you guys. Love you. I know I don't go on live a lot, so it's fun to see a lot of people come here and comment.
Wait, I just want to see, did you drink all your wine and eat all your chocolate?
Oh no, the bottle's not even open yet. I'm saving this one.
Okay.
Not open yet. This is for after. So I can pick out and no one can say anything.
I love you, girl. I'll talk to you soon.
This is from my director producer. Look at what she does. Look, this is how you're supposed to treat your actors. I love you so much. Thank you.
Love you. Thank you so much, boo. Thank y'all.